We love having adventures together. It's part of us. It's who we are. If somebody was to say, who are Greg and Laura, they would say they're traveling adventure people. And things have changed a bit. It was August of 2011, and we decided with one of our friends, Jimmy, to take a ride from Salt Lake City to Coeur d'Alene. Our third night on this ride, we had just finished the Lolo Pass, incredible motorcycle ride, and I unfortunately chose to eat trout that night. Unfortunately, it had spoiled, and I ate it anyway because I was starving. I don't have much memory of the next morning, to be honest.
He just kept getting sicker as the morning went on and didn't feel good, but he kept riding thinking he'd be okay. He put his blinker on, and the next thing, he was about down to 30 miles an hour, starting to pull over, and the next thing I saw, his head just tipped. He passed out and went off the side of the road, and he went down into the lava rock and flipped over, did a complete 180 and flipped over in the gully. So I ran down into the gully, and Jimmy came right behind me, and Greg's bike was on top of him, so we had to push it off of him. And I was just trying to assess what kind of condition he was in. His right leg was kind of turned off to one side. I could tell that he had a compound fracture in his leg. But mostly I was just concerned that he was still breathing. We actually got down into the ED, and I said, "Where am I? Where are we?" And they said, "Coeur d'Alene." I said, "Well, I can't stay here. We're not staying here. I need to take him home to Salt Lake. We're not going to treat him here." And Dr. Bowen pulled me into the next room that was empty, and he said, if something happened to someone in my family, he said, "I want Dr. Gans taking care of them." He said, "You trust me on this one, Laura. You got to trust him."
In addition to my brain injury, I had a lot of broken bones in the right side of my body. My femur was broke, knee was shattered, dislocated. Dr. Bowen was an orthopedic surgeon, amazing technical skills. I was at Kootenai Health for 11 days, many days in ICU in a coma.
And I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death of what's going to happen and how my new life is going to change. And these people at the hospital are treating me so good. They're so good to me, and they're always keeping me up to date and telling me what's going on and letting me know what's happening.
People took Laura and I in their family, in their arms. We were held by them and carried by them through days and days of critical condition hospital care.
You can have all the technology, all the gadgets in a hospital. You can have all the stuff you want, it's the people. And that's what meant everything to me.
One of the nurses in the ICU had to take me in for a CT scan. They put me on the bed, and I was all over the place. I couldn't hold still, and she held my hand and whispered in my ear and calmed me down to the point that they could take this CT scan with my head holding still, and so Dr. Gans could make a good diagnosis on me and continue the treatment of me. So that's just one example of the amazing care that we received while we were at Kootenai. The amazing thing about my luck of crashing near Coeur d'Alene and being flown to Kootenai Health is that the physicians are highly skilled, and the technical savvy of the critical care team is at the highest level. Dr. Gans, Dr. Bowen, surgical teams, ICU team, emergency room team, the neuro rehab team. I was very lucky that I crashed near this site and was flown to this hospital.
What's even more remarkable, though, is what they've done with their experience. They have taken what was a personal tragedy full of adversity, full of question marks and hard work for him to get back to where he was fully functional again, and then have turned that into a mission for them, for him to advocate for head injured patients in the Salt Lake City area, and for her advocacy for the families of people who have head injuries.
When I speak in public, I speak about Kootenai Health. It's a part of who I am, and I hope they understand and recognize it, and it feels good to them.
They paid it forward, paid the good care that they got here forward, and that's the best thanks I could ask for.